How's it going, people? Jack here with another video, and welcome back to the Chill Zone. Oh, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the Chill Zone. So today we've been blessed with a movie from a character whom I think a lot of us have been missing for quite some time. This is the internet historian who has made a full feature long video on Ever Given. Now, if you might not remember the name, it might simply be because of the memes. COVID era memes have absolutely cemented themselves in most of our minds, and I only remember this ship as being called Evergreen. Indeed, Tokyo Drift 16 times the Titanic. This thing had reached such a massive popularity to the point where it was anthropomorphized into you know what. That's when you know that something is popular. I even made use of that in a video review when talking about the Suez Canal some years ago. Benito took his chance in 1940 and sought to invade Northern Africa by blocking trade routes like the Suez Canal to stick it up to the Brits. Well, gentlemen, ladies, that was a pretty fucking dumb idea. Anyways, this is likely going to be very long, so I highly recommend yourself to get a snack, something to drink, and or just put me in the background there so that you can enjoy yourself. That being said, let's get into this.
This video was made possible by Saley and some very patient people over at Patreon. Okay, music fades in. My friend, let me weave you a tale of a windswept night beyond the old Egyptian sands, where the water plays coy with the shore, and the coy are sure to play in the water. Where the desert wolves make love to the moon.
Okay. That was not a desert wolf, but sure.
This is the Suez Canal. Undeniably, Egypt's most famous body of water.
Yeah.
Nothing bad ever happens here.
We're going to deny the existence of the Nile. Oh god, that didn't sound quite good. I should have gone with denial instead. Damn it.
Oh, except for that one time.
Well, it wasn't once.
Okay, so there's a ship, and it's called the Ever Given, and it's going up the Suez Canal really, really fast, probably. And you think that, well, the Port Authority would call up, and they'd be like,
Captain, you are going way too fast.
But the captain, he's wicked sick cool, so he's like,
they're just jealous of my passion for going fast through critical trade infrastructure. Increase speed.
If you will not slow down, prepare to meet the full might of the Egyptian military.
Hey, no wonder it took him over a year to make. Dude had to learn Blender to do this.
2 of Egypt's fastest fighter jets scramble on the runway. But the captain kept adding power.
Faster! The people of Europe need these Chinese knockoffs of European goods.
And they got all sorts of technology to go like top speed.
Don't go faster, I beseech you.
But everyone on the crew was loving it. Yeah, go faster. But then...
Look out! Someone left a ramp in the middle of the canal.
I ain't afraid of nothing.
It was at this point that the captain chose to do a wicked sick jump.
Dude, should have put the Pacific Rim music there if it wasn't for copyright reasons.
Lens flare. But they overshot it. They were gonna collide with a gently sloping sandy bank. They threw on the handbrake.
Drop anchor! Brace for impact!
But it was too late. Collision. Literally everybody died.
Okay, come on.
Ever given, ever taken away.
Well, that's quick. Thank you everybody for watching the video. See you guys
That'll
next.
do. All right, see you in a year.
Oh, Doom.
What do you mean it's not long enough? Wikipedia, ChatGPT. Add the music. They love that. A reaction GIF? That's a good one. No, this video is too good. Dial it back a little. Okay, let me start again. I'll do...
ChatGPT, please write it as a moron who just started college.
the phony voice too.
Better. Okay, so here's what really happened.
The following is based on the true story, however, most details come from secondary sources, while some conversations were recorded including the VDR data of the ship. It's like the equivalent of the black box. Almost none of the material had been made available to the public, so they took a few liberties to fill the gap. All characterizations should be considered fictional, not reflective of the real people involved. We're not going to be dealing with like a Cost of Concordia here, where the captain and everybody involved actually acted in the way that he depicted them in that video, because they were awful, like the bunch of them. So this is of course all done for entertainment purposes, so be cool and please don't bother any of the people involved in the Suez incident. We're just here to have a good time.
This story begins in Malaysia. Of course, you already know, but that's this one over here. And at a port named Tanjung Pelepus is the container ship known as the Ever Given. The last of the cargo is loaded onto the ship, and the captain of the ship, Krishnan Kanthaval, is there with his crew of 20. Hello! At this point, Kanthaval probably said something like, "All right, the boat's tummy is all full of cargo. We're almost ready to get going." So Evergreen, the operating company of the ship, would have called ahead and booked passage for the ship. Yes, one adult ship ticket, please.
Mushy mushy.
How many containers? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now this guy at the operating company is on the line to the Suez Canal Authority. And they are in charge of all of the operations of the Suez Canal.
Right.
All right, thank you for choosing Suez Waterways. You are scheduled for March 23rd. You are 922nd in queue. All right, we've got a Supermax container coming through on March 23rd. Pulling up the stats now.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of traffic. I think that I tend to forget is how stuff gets transported. Like if you travel across Europe, which we often do, it's by plane. Sometimes, of course, we do drive by. No, we do like road trips across countries, certainly. But of course, shipping is also that vast. Like it's, I won't quite say equivalent to like air traffic, but it's a lot. But especially through that canal. I know the dimension of this thing because we've been around there. It's like 700 feet, being like 200 meters wide and only 25 or 24 meters in depth. That's 80 feet. It's not enough, okay? It's not enough.
The Ever Given, one of the largest container ships in the world. Over 400 meters long, 60 meters wide.
Yeah.
Only 10% smaller than the world's largest aircraft carrier.
So it's a third. It's a third of the size of the canal that they had to navigate through. And like hundreds of ships pass through that every day. That's wild. And they have to time that, of course, as they schedule the trip already from the 21st there.
Able to carry over 20,000 of these shipping containers. Here's a guy in a
40 feet. Yeah. Hey, we could use that for like tiny homes. That used to be like a craze.
All right, navigator, helmsman, Gene. Let's get going. We wouldn't want to hold up the other ships.
Poor Gene.
With a teary goodbye, the Ever Given sets sail from Malaysia and makes course for the Netherlands. Let's go to the map.
Yeah.
Malaysia, and you already know, but the Netherlands is over here. The route's so simple. You just go from here over to... Oh. We're blocked by Africa, sir. Should we just head back?
I was about to say, bruv, did you just skip the biggest continent in the world? Oh, correction. It is Asia. I know. Africa second. It's those like geographically speaking, I'm always picturing it in terms of like the globe and not the actual maps, which always reduce the sizes of continents and inflate others. Anyways.
Don't worry, I know a shortcut.
Who
Head into
breeds?
that inlet. It's called the Red Sea. Captain, it's blue. I know.
Of course.
In a bit over a week, the Ever Given cruises all the way to the Red Sea.
Which is called the Red Sea because of a specific algae called Trichodecium erythraeum. I'll put like a ding there if I got that name correctly. But yeah, that specific algae dies and turns the water red. So yeah, it's not because sea is actually red, but because occasionally it does turn red.
And on the way, someone on the crew points out Djibouti. And he says it aloud. Djibouti. Because it's fun to say. It's a great time to be a cargo ship captain, I can tell you that much. Captain, we've got another problem on the sat-nav. There's more land in the way. How are we supposed to get through an obstacle like this?
That's
Should I
old.
just head back? Now, if this was 1868, Canterville would be in big trouble. But luckily, in 1869, someone happened to dig a big channel. Right from one side of this isthmus to the other. And filled it with water, they did. Which meant that ships no longer needed to circumnavigate Africa.
That someone was a Frenchman whose name I forget. We talked about it in a Just Cause video by Martin Topens of all people. We have to go back to the 1800s, like 1880 around that time. There's this French guy, because obviously French, so that's why I chose this topic. A guy called Ferdinand de Lesseps, right, in 1880, who was more or less responsible, not more or less, he was the guy, the engineer responsible for the Suez Canal in Egypt. You know, that wonderful stretch that is responsible for propagating the English imperialism for like half of a century. Yeah, that dude, he did that. And so when there was a demand for a new route to be established in the middle of America, he was one of the very few to raise his hands up and being like, yeah, I can do this. And I should remember that because I spent a good bit discussing that. So yeah, small facts for you.
It's nothing personal. It's a geographic thing. Late that evening, the Ever Given arrives at the Gulf of Suez. Here on the map. It's a big open area for ships to park. And there are ships everywhere, sitting idle, waiting for their turn to pass through the canal. Now the helmsman is kind of driving around the area, looking for a place to park and drop anchor. But then, something captures his attention. Hey, what's that mysterious-looking ship over there? It looks
MV Aman.
abandoned. MV Aman. Do not speak its name, helmsman. Why not?
The hell is that?
There's a spot, there's a spot.
Ship.
That's a handicap. They park the ship, drop anchor, and radio in to the Suez Canal Authority. Thank you for joining the queue. Typical wait time is a few hours, up
Do
to
it for
one
her.
business day. Why do we have to wait? Why can't we just go straight through? Because we've got rules here at the canal. A big book of them. No running, no dive bombing, and blah, blah, blah. Somewhere way down the back of the manual it says, all vessels entering or leaving the canal must have a pilot. And in fact, a ship as large as yours needs two. These pilots are employees of the Canal Authority who understand the perils of the route. Kind of like a consultant to the captain. And they stand around going, yes, yes, go here, turn coming up here, watch out for the geese. So just stand by for a while, yep? All right, nothing to do till this pilot arrives. Guess I'll take a little bit of me time. I'm off to my cabin, fellas. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And
Well,
so just
captains
after
need to do that, but
Canterville heads back to his quarters to take a nap.
what would the rest of the crew do in the midst?
Quite a cozy scene, wouldn't you say?
Jesus.
But all is not well on the Ever Given tonight. There seems to be some trouble with the weather. 2:30 a.m. Canterville wakes up. Outside is the loud rattle of shipping containers siren with the wind.
Sandstorms.
Loud enough to capture Canthal's attention. Rara. He dashes up to the bridge. All right, what's the status on it being really, really windy outside? The wind is up to 35 knots, but the Ever Given is fine and the anchor is keeping us held.
Yeah.
All right, it sounds like I can head back to my quarters then. Wait, Captain. I think we need to move the ship. Yeah, those guys are getting closer and closer to us. We're surrounded by ships like the Al Nasriyah. Their anchors can't withstand the wind, and they are being dragged about. We need more buffer, or there's risk of a collision.
Oh, it's like the move from the movie Battleship. About to ram in there where they use the anchor to drift. Mahalo, motherfucker.
Good thinking. All right, duty engineer, prep the engines. Aye. The ship kicks to life. The helmsman steers the Ever Given to get further away from the other ships. This whole thing might be cancelled. Port control. Although this waiting area is delightful, the weather outside is very frightful. Is passage through the canal still happening? Not cancelled. Hold position. Your pilot is wrapping up and will be on his way to your vessel soon. They're making us wait. Captain, if we're struggling not to hit ships in this big open area...
I'm sorry, what the fuck? Jane Viver? What kind of name is that? Ah, damn it. Something suspicious about the name.
Yeah. It's going to get pretty dicey when we have to navigate through a narrow channel like the Suez. Yes. Although you should have said, spoiler warning.
Right. Ad time.
Coming up next on Channel Ad Time.
Welcome
Saily
back to
Man.
Raising Saily. I'm Saily Man, professional traveler and eSIM user. Finding tourists to get them huge savings on an eSIM plan. It ain't for the faint of heart. But if there's one thing I've learned in all my years, when they're traveling, they need data.
I can't get an Uber. I didn't sort out my data before I left.
Got another one? Try this. First we download the Saily app on your phone. Then we choose how much data we want and where. Then we add the code Internet Historian for 15% off. And don't forget the most important part. Mwah. I just gave your phone international data using the Saily app.
Thank you, Saily Man.
Wow.
Very cool.
So download the Saily app or scan the QR code on the screen now and use the code Internet Historian to get 15% off at checkout.
It's so beautiful here in the hills of Switzerland. If only I could listen to podcasts in the background.
Here comes Saily Man. Over 200 destinations, 24/7 live chat support, and no physical SIM or roaming fees, because it's just an app.
Could I have my phone back, please?
At Saily, family comes first, and data comes second. Data comes first. They're both tied for first.
Tonight on Raising Saily.
Anyone can get Saily. Dead ones. Sorry I have a boyfriend ones. Or regular.
I have a presentation in 15 minutes at the UN Security Council.
Oh.
And I didn't download the slides. Without this presentation, I'm worried they're going to nuke North Sentinel Island again.
But will it awaken Godzilla? I mean, that's a fair trade-off.
15 minutes to go and he hasn't got the slides.
I'll be the guy who started the next world war without those damn slides.
10 minutes to go and he hasn't got the slides.
History will not look kindly on me without those slides.
Here comes Saily. Now you have 10 gigabytes of data on your phone. Cheaper than most phone providers.
I love you, Saily Man.
Hush, little one.
God damn it, the animation for the hands.
This truly was our darkest hour. But we prevailed.
So wrong.
It's not an easy job, but Saily gets me through. So download the Saily app or scan the QR code on screen and use Internet Historian as the code to get 15% off at checkout. Get some damn data on your phone, why not? Ad over. Some time has passed. We're back on the bridge. There's the helmsman. Captain's gone back to his quarters. Pilots won't be here for hours. Then suddenly, an idea. The helmsman takes it upon himself to navigate a little bit of
No way.
Tee-hee-hee, says the helmsman. As long as no one checks the nav data, this won't come
They
back to
will
bite
check
me
the
at
nav
all.
data.
A couple of hours pass. The wind dies down just a little. No ships crashed into the Ever Given, but a small one did pull up beside it.
Oh, the pilots.
Captain,
Finally.
pilots are here. Welcome aboard. Oh, hey,
About
Captain.
time.
Yes, we're running late. Where's the helm? We don't know what the pilots' names are, so we're just going to go with blue and red. Okay, I think we should move ahead at about 14 kilometers. That's right. Ahead. 14 kilometers per hour.
Oh no, this is not good. The two of them
The Ever
disagree.
Given joins a convoy of ships taking position at the entrance to the canal. Convoy, checking in. Ready. All right, everybody. We want to be alert. Stay focused. Yeah, Captain. I'll follow the other ships. I'll try not to get lost. Hold on, helmsman. And the audience. This is a much more perilous journey than you might know. What? A big straight line? It is 193 kilometers of narrow waterway. And I hope you've got some stamina, because it takes 12 hours to traverse.
Oh,
It's a
boy.
full-day trip.
Yeah.
Some parts are only 24 meters deep. Oh, that's very shallow. Yes, and only 200 meters wide in some parts. That's very narrow.
There it is.
I've seen McDonald's drive-thrus with more clearance.
It's the size of a daddy's parking lot.
And you certainly wouldn't want to have an accident, would you? Because 12% of the entire world's sea freight
12.
passes through here.
Bit more
If
than
you
I
blocked
thought.
it, the consequences would be humongous. No pressure, though. Oh, I see. Oh, don't mind him. He gives that speech to everybody. Ahead, 14 kilometers per hour. Yes, pilot. 14 kilometers. Steady on.
It's a good thing. I appreciate that he does the conversion from kilometers to knots. Not because the conversion itself is too hard. It's like 1.8 kilometers per hour for a knot. But it also sounds stupid to say. But it gives you like a good... what's the word I'm looking for here? Estimate as to how things can go wrong, because you get the 200 or 190 kilometer distance, divide that with the 14, and you get almost like 13 hours, meaning that they will have to decelerate or accelerate in certain areas. And, well, I guess that's where a lot of things go wrong.
So into the canal, the Ever Given went. As they cruise, the winds swirl back onto the sea. No longer buffered by miles of open water, the sand and dust can blow about with abandon.
Yeah.
Low visibility. Strong winds jostle the ship. Grit pelts the bow. The Ever Given steams ahead at about the pace of a fast jog. And there's no real build-up here, to be honest. Things go awry almost immediately. How are you coping with the wind? It's manageable. All right, well, the wind is definitely pushing us to the left-hand side. Yes, just try to keep it as centered as you can. Adjusting.
He's trying.
These winds are quite something. Do you think we should have insisted they postpone?
Well, the pilots don't seem worried, and they know this water better than anyone. The angle of the wind is
you're the captain.
particularly nasty, catching the enormous surface area of the ship and constantly nudging it off course.
You're supposed to decide.
Helmsman, you're still too far to the left. You got to get back to the center.
Yeah, I'm trying. Adjusting. The helmsman keeps changing the trajectory of the ship, but he cannot seem to stay in the center.
Come on, helmsman, we're still not centered.
I know, it's the wind. No matter what they do, they can't seem to get away from the left bank. The wind foils their every countermaneuver. This is not as manageable as I thought it would be. Is it going to be like this the whole way? Don't worry, this is really common. It won't be the whole trip. No. The problem is we're going too slow. Red pilot takes the initiative. If we speed up, we can push through the wind. Accelerate to 22 kilometers an hour. Somewhat reluctantly, the helmsman obliges. 20 kilometers per hour.
Engines engage and the ship speeds up. Captain, going this fast in heavy winds is needlessly reckless. There are protocols for this sort of thing.
All right, Gene, it's a bit windy. Relax. This must happen all the time.
The red pilot was right. The increased speed helps them to fight through the wind and get away from the left-hand bank. However, they can't seem to keep the ship in the very center. Helmsman, you're aimed too severely to the right-hand bank now.
We need a bit of leadership here. Don't worry, I know what to do. Turn left.
Adjusting. The pilot's giving steering instructions now. Captain, is he supposed to do that? Captain, the pilot is not here to give steering orders. You should say something.
Captain is daft.
The ship is now consistently snaking left and right and left and right. Turn to the right! So they turn to the right, but then they end up too far to the right. You're too close to the right bank now. Turn to the left.
Yes, I agree. Turn to the left.
Look, this is all a bit tense, and we both know where this is going. It's gonna crash. Let's just enjoy it. Oh, wow. There it is. A gently sloping sandy bank.
Come to me, my darling.
Red pilot, we're just consultants. This isn't our job to steer the ship. You're micromanaging. We should only be giving general navigation advice. We're getting too close to the left bank. I can't keep it centered. We have to slow this ship down. If we slow down, the wind will push us into the bank. What do I do? Reduce the speed. The two pilots begin bickering. And not just bickering normally. They're bickering in Arabic. Arabic.
Oh, the captain doesn't
And
understand.
Canthable's crew doesn't speak Arabic.
Indian.
What the hell are they saying? I don't know. Neither do I. Does anyone here speak Arabic?
The bank is
The
going.
Ever Given has reached its target
Come
speed
closer.
of 22 kilometers an hour. But they're taking wider and wider turns and can't seem to get anywhere near the center of the lane. And the two pilots, they're still fighting.
Yeah, the issue with that, I used to joke a lot because I would bike along the beach side where we used to live. Just to clarify why I would do that, I used to take rides from our home to Copenhagen when I went to university during the summer because it was, you save money from transportation. It's very expensive to have like a commune card, although public transportation in comparison to the rest of the world is pretty ideal. But the thing was that I will bike there and I will like pay attention to the ships and see if I could reach the destination before them, because they are basically going at the same speed as a bike, sometimes even slower. And that initially doesn't sound quite bad, right? But when they need to brake, you need to take into consideration the amount of weight that they carry with them. Apply Newton's first law: an object in motion will stay in motion, right? The inertia from it all is insane.
Captain? Captain! Pilots! Captain! The Ever Given then reaches an extreme, unrecoverable angle, pointing acutely to the right, straight for the bank. We need to turn left. Now. Hard left.
Hard to the left.
Hard to the left. The rudder turns. But the ship doesn't turn with it.
This is West Drift.
Instead, it slides.
Didn't I tell you to turn left?
Why aren't we turning? I am turning to the left, Captain. The ship's not responding.
I knew this would happen. It's your fault.
The helmsman loses his ability to steer. The ship has gone out of control.
Oh my god. Sandy waifu. A lot of Genshin fans would have been happy
Cantable
here.
finally steps forward. Enough! Helmsman, center the rudder. Reduce speed. Rudder center. Reduce... But it's too late. Canterville did not intervene in time. Shit.
According to a person familiar with the VDR audio, Captain Canterville reacted as anyone might in the same situation. Shit, he screamed. Well, yeah, I think we all would. Dude. Listen,
The crew can feel the vibration through the floor as the bow meets the bank.
I still flew. Leaning like a torpedo.
That bow, raised 6 meters, slides into the bank with ease, like a hot pencil through pudding. Meanwhile, the rear of the ship is pulled into the opposite bank. The bridge shakes and the crew lurches forward as 300,000 tons of momentum is reduced to 0 in the span of a couple of seconds.
That's it.
We've run aground, we've run aground, cut your engines, Canterville yells out on the radio, because don't forget, these ships are running as a convoy.
Oh, there comes the
mask. The
mask.
ships behind them have just seen what's happened, and they all have to slam on the brakes. A couple of ships back, the Asia Ruby 3 suffers an engine malfunction, and it cannot stop as quickly as it intends to, and nearly plows into the back of the Maersk Denver. They manage to stop themselves just in time and prevent running aground as well.
Oof.
Pan back to the Ever Given. Let us look at it from above. It is diagonally wedged across the entire canal.
Perfect.
An unplanned bridge connecting 2 continents. A ship collision of such magnitude, there's almost nothing to compare it to. Maybe Hindenburg? 9/11? I'll get Google.
Whoa.
No, hold off on the dramatic sound effects. There's no need to panic just yet. It's like a car tire stuck in the mud. We simply reverse.
You're right. Right, you just do that.
Full astern. Well, that means full backwards.
You're
Propellers
wedged in.
at the back of the ship whiz to little effect. Locked in place by the sand. We didn't move. Merely a run-up. Crash astern. That's the most dramatic version of full astern, ramping up to full thrust as quickly as possible. Nothing. No, stop it. No sound effect just yet. We still have one more option. Start up the bow thrusters. They're the jets at the front of the ship that give a little bit of extra oomph. Crash astern, full thrusters.
You did not
effect,
give.
Sir.
Cue it, those sound effects. Everything.
Now, we don't have the transcript from here, so we'll just presume that at the time, Canterville said something very quirky and millennial, like,
Bazinga.
So that just happened. But what we do know is that he and the pilots then jumped on the radio and got in contact with the Port Authority. We've got something to tell you, and you gotta promise not to get mad. Shut up. Listen, we're gonna need a tugboat. We are run aground. The helmsman takes a turn at being millennial. There are other ships right behind me, aren't there? Uh-huh. And there were, as the queue of container ships piling up behind them got longer and longer.
The crazy thing is that, much like COVID, we all forgot about the impact of these things only until it was over. Like, think about the shipping companies who had to stay there every single day, and the ones who were on their way. I think that there were an estimate of like 20 to perhaps double of that, 20 billion, that was just lost there while they were sitting.
Make that 2 tugboats. So what happened here exactly? And who is in big trouble?
That's the actual picture. Wow, the 3D rendering is amazing.
Explainer time. There are 3 main causes to why the ship crashed. Let's start with the wind. The captain could have very easily said, guys, the wind is far too severe. Let's postpone. But he didn't. However, the blame's not all on Canterville. The 2 pilots could have also said, let's just follow protocol. By radioing in to HQ and saying, yes, get us 2 tugboats, please. With 1 on each side at the front, they would have had far more stability and control.
Right.
And they wouldn't need to erratically fight about with the wind to stay in the middle
Tugboats
of the
are
lane.
pretty good.
Second cause, the speed of the ship. Now, it was the red pilot who told the helmsman, accelerate the ship to 22 kilometers per hour. But when he did that, they were already driving at the speed limit for their weight class, 14 kilometers per hour. And telling the helmsman to go beyond that meant that they are technically breaking the rules.
Yeah.
And while I agree that some rules are made to be broken, going this fast in a very large ship in a comparatively small canal causes a whole bunch of problems to do with fluid dynamics. Big problems. Huge.
5 fun physics phenomena.
No, I don't know the physics, and if
Whoa. I was about to say, did you get the guy from Veritasium to come and do the science here? That would have been great.
No, I don't know the physics, and if I did, I wouldn't tell you. But what I will say is this. Speeding up causes something approximating oversteer. The ship becomes all slidey. I'm just going to turn a little bit to the left, but instead you go a lot to the left. I'll just turn right a little bit, but instead you turn to the right a lot. Remember how the cheerful navigator was like, "Come on, guys, we have to get back to the center of the lane." Well, they can't, because every time they try to direct back to the center, the speed and the oversteer means they overshoot it. One more effect of going very fast.
I will sneeze. Wait for it.
Take a look at this animation side on. Water pressure effects cause the ship to tilt. At this speed, the front is raised 6 meters higher than usual, which means when they collide with the bank, combined with the high velocity, they really wedge themselves in. But we can't just blame everything on the physicists, because there's a third main cause. Poor communication.
Yeah.
English is the official language of pretty much every port. However, the pilots start arguing with each other in Arabic, which is not just unprofessional, but excludes all of the rest of the crew from what's being discussed.
Like, what happened for them to be late in the first place? They should have arrived way earlier.
And all of these competing voices make for chaos on the bridge. But the blame is not all on the co-pilots either. The captain is always in charge. He has the ultimate authority. Decisions start and end with him. So the captain should have intervened and said something like, "Shut up, everybody." But he doesn't. He stands there quite passively throughout. By the time he does step in, it's too late.
Non-confrontational. Yeah.
Now that everything's been laid out, who would you say is at fault for the crash of the Ever Given? The helmsman? Blue pilot? The red pilot? Canthaville?
All of them.
I'll tell you.
Us?
Society, that's who. You and me. And I...
It's us consuming this bloody product. We caused this. Too much supply and demand.
I think you should apologize.
Sorry, Ever Given.
Alrighty, so we have something 3.5 times the size of the Titanic, choking the world's largest freighting canal like a greedy seagull throating a glue stick.
I'm sorry, I said 16 times the Titanic. That was a joke. Just to clarify.
Good start. And they didn't get very far through the canal itself. About 5% of the progress bar. But if we scroll up for a second, we can see what landmarks they missed out on. The Great Bitter Lake, named so because the water there is very salty instead of fresh. Then up a 2-lane bit and over to Timsah Lake, named so because Timsah is the Arabic word for crocodile, because there used to be crocodiles in there. Otherwise, it's pretty much zip right through to the Mediterranean. That would have been very nice for them.
Yeah.
Now we go back a bit to Timsah Lake, and here you'll find the city of Ismailia. And at its port, see this building? This is the Suez Canal Authority. Inside, Captain El Said, head of navigational control, is just settling in for the day. As he sits down to his desk, Captain, you're gonna want to see this. The video feed pulls up.
Oh, shit.
What? Line 1. We're stuck. We'd like to request a tugboat. Stuck? Stuck where? You know that single lane area pretty close to the entrance? There. Now, had this happened in one of the 2-lane sections, they could have kept the traffic flowing. But alas. What? So you're blocking all the traffic? Mr. El Sayed, we already promised we wouldn't get mad. Fine.
I gotta see how bad it is in person. El Sayed snatches his keys off his desk and he races down to his car, rushing to the scene.
He gets out and casts his eyes upon the ship.
My God.
Towering over him is a structure the width and breadth of the world's largest Walmart, except it is also 15 stories tall.
Yeah, just see the perspective from afar. Bloody insane. Yeah, you got a moving city up there.
The bow, raised 6 meters higher than normal, is jammed into one side.
Like an unwitting finger in a Chinese finger trap that somebody filled with Gorilla Glue in its prom tomorrow.
The ass of the ship
That's actually a good
firmly
analogy.
squatting aground on the other side. And the middle of the ship making bended metal groans as it's barely suspended by only a few meters of water.
As the more they try to move it from its wedge, it actually got more stuck.
El Sayed lets the sand run through his fingers. At this point, another important person arrives on the scene. Admiral Rabi. He is the Suez Canal Authority chairman, the big boss of the whole canal. Here's the rough structure of the organization. He's all the way up here, right?
Oh, no.
So high up that he reports directly to the Pharaoh of Egypt himself.
Yep, that's one blocked canal.
No, Mr. President. He didn't say blocked. Shut up. He said that canal rocked. He's giving it a 5-star review.
Come on, follow me to the bridge.
Now, Al Sayed and Rabi board the ship, and it's a hell of a scene. The crew is racing around.
Oh God, they're gonna check the nav data. They're gonna see the dick pic. Oh God. Canthaville's standing back taking a panicked phone call with the operating company. Okay, so 2 pilots walk into a ship, and the first one says,
and the 2 pilots from before are still bickering. All right, you 2 are dismissed.
Yeah.
Oh God,
Should be
this
fine.
is the end of my career. This is gonna cost $1 billion.
Al Sayed puts his hand on Canthaville's shoulder. Do not worry, my friend. We shall solve this.
Come on, Captain. What's the status? Well, the ship isn't floating. Yeah. No, what I mean is the situation is worse than you think. It's the way we're pitched up on the shore. The weight distribution is all wrong. We're like a raised bridge, but we don't have any of the support underneath. The middle of the ship could bend under its own weight and tear.
So it could sink?
Yep.
Yeah.
That would shut down the whole canal for months.
Are we taking on water? No, I've had the engineers check the hull. We can't see water making ingress anywhere. Yet. The best way to get free and the best way to prevent the ship from potentially sinking is to lighten the load. We need to get rid of at least, I don't know, like 20,000 tons. How quickly do you think your crew can offload containers? No. Look how high those boxes
We're
are
not
stacked.
doing that.
To offload these containers is going to require specialist equipment. The kind you'd only find at a dedicated port. We're not going to be able to offload these containers out here in the middle of nowhere. All right, well, it's the easiest, most brute force solution you can think of. The ballast tanks. Go on. We've got nearly 10,000 tons of ballast water on board. We can dump that right now and relieve some pressure.
Excellent idea. I'll get started.
No,
Wait.
no, you can't do that. Well, why not?
Yeah, you're about to learn why.
You see, when a ship fills its ballast tanks, it's filling with more than just water.
It's a big, dilute, salty soup of algae, plant material, and even sometimes small fish.
Yeah.
Pick that up in
Way to
Malaysia.
destroy the
dump that at the
ecosystem.
next port.
You're introducing these stowaway pest species into the environment. Some examples of these invasive species include the Northern Pacific Sea Star, the European green crab,
Money.
son of a bitch, and cholera.
Oh.
So you have to treat the water before you discharge it, usually through heat or chemicals. And the key there is that it also requires time and access to one of these treatment machines. And we're not at a port. It's going to take much longer than usual. But let me get onto the line with the guys at Ismailia. We probably have a portable water treatment machine somewhere.
Al-Said turns and looks out the window. Coming down the canal are 2 tugboats, the ones that they ordered earlier. Look, we might not even be that deeply wedged in. These 2 tugboats might be all we need. Yes, tugboats.
Great capacity,
This is the Mosaid 2 and the Mosaid 3. These 2 little guys are able to pull around this massive cargo ship, comparable in size to the Ever Given. On go the ties. Line secure, all fast. Engine ready. Ready to pull. Canterville looks nervously at Al-Said. Commence pull. Slow ahead. The polyethylene ropes whine as they're pulled taut from the water. The tugboats lightly draw against the ship, testing for resistance. All right, a little more.
Yeah.
More.
Definitely is resistance.
More. Full power. Nothing. Not an inch of difference. All right, stop engines. Be on standby. This isn't going to work. With just 2 tugboats, we do not have the pull for a ship this massive, this deeply grounded. It's also low tide. That's not helping. Wind's high tide. Early afternoon, in a couple of hours. All right, that buys us some time. How soon do you think you can get a dredger out here? Let me find out for you. Please hold.
In a few days.
The dredgers can remove the sand below the waterline that's all built up around the ship. Hi again. They say it'll take a day, maybe 2. All right, tell them to hurry. A day or 2? I'd better update my boss. Let him know it's not going to be a quick fix. I should call my wife as well. All right, don't go too far. I need you for something in a minute. Hey, what about excavators? Oh, yeah. How many we got? Right now? No, for my birthday. Yeah, now.
1.
1. 1 guy. There's only 1 excavator on standby for the whole canal. Well, it's just post-COVID. Everyone's been excavating from home. Patch me through. There really was just 1 guy, by the way. It's local contractor Abdullah. So he picks up the phone. Mushy mushy. There's been a big accident at the canal, Abdullah. There's sand and dirt everywhere. I need your help.
Just Captain calling his wife in the background.
Abdullah jumps in his truck and heads to the scene. And when he pulls up, Gott in Himmel, he sees the massive Ever Given wedged into the canal. Abdullah locks himself into his excavator and gets to work on the most important task he's ever done digged.
Abdullah's the man. Whoa. Whoa.
Back on the bridge. Yeah, I'm not sure. Hopefully
he's MVP.
Okay. Yep, no, love you too. Okay, bye. Whew, the boss was not happy. Hey, before you said you needed me for something. I did. Who's this? Breathe into this tube.
Oh, yeah. That would be a natural assumption. Were you drunk driving, Captain? In your wildest fantasy, Captain, are you of the persuasion that your surname is Jack Sparrow? It's clean.
Also, you have to do a drug test. After the crash, they tested Canterville for drugs and alcohol. Both came up negative. There's also a procedure to make sure that captains aren't fatigued. They look at the rest schedule and they find, no, Canterville took that nap. Remember? He's had plenty of rest time. Yep. So he passed the fatigue assessment. And while Canterville was at the nurse's office, high tide came and went. Tugs were tried again. And again. Tried a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It didn't work. All day trying, all evening, and into the early morning. But that stubborn ship was going nowhere.
She wasn't given in. Ooh. Okay, calm down.
Of course. The moon.
Motherfucker's about to summon Khonshu. We need to turn back time, can't you help me?
Day 2. There's quite a queue of ships by this point, and they're all honking their horns impatiently. Hey, move your ass! I got Frozens in the back. Go around! Go around!
No one knows quite what's happening because the Suez Canal Authority has not made a formal statement. But their hand is about to be forced when an impatient sailor behind the Ever Given takes a photograph and publishes it online.
Fuck. Ship in front of us ran aground while going through the canal. It is now stuck sideways. Look like we might be here for a bit. In the least, the MVP Abdullah was still being spotted there doing his work.
This starts a bit of a buzz on social media. It was at this very moment that the helmsman's most feared fear was most realized.
His boss.
Someone pulled up the navigational data.
Oh!
Within 24 hours, it was all over the news. So over at the Suez offices, Mr. Rebbe, you have 300 voicemails. Telemarketers? Important clients and journalists. They're asking about whether the canal is blocked, aren't they? They're asking about whether the canal is blocked, yes.
The man already has baggy eyes naturally, so I can't imagine the amount of stress that put on him and how worse he ended up looking.
And the Suez Canal Authority could keep it a secret no longer.
They held a press conference. Okay. This is crazy. Let's say, hypothetically.
They didn't give many details, but it was a very inspirational press conference. The news begins reporting on the story.
It's blocked. Cargo ship blocking the Suez Canal is a huge container ship.
There's just the most incredible drama playing out in the Suez Canal.
A massive container ship longer than the Eiffel Tower.
It's one of the world's most important shipping lanes.
And breaking news from the Nana Star News Channel. I'm Nana.
Hey,
Mega
Nana.
ship's big ass is stuck in the Suez Canal.
Right. Point is, this story exploded everywhere. There was a lot of sympathy to go around.
Hey,
I appear to have blocked global trade.
And the internet, upon seeing it, went, these guys need some help. We would love to volunteer.
That's not a picture of a naked woman. I need to help them.
Yep. Yep. Gooners to the rescue.
They knew best about what to do to get this ship unstuck. All right, it's time for the "yeah, I reckon you could pretty much just do this and it'd work" section. By far the most popular solution was simply blow it up. No ship, no problem. But why wouldn't this work? Well, first you're blowing up $1 billion worth of cargo. And this thing is about 3 times the size of Mount Rushmore. So there's quite a lot of debris to sweep up, actually. And you still haven't solved the problem of moving the thing out of the fucking canal. Next idea. What if we attach 1,000 helicopters and simply fly the thing out? You could even take it all the way to its destination in the Netherlands. Well,
why don't we just summon Jaegers? Let's kickstart the Jaeger program. We can use the ships to fight kaijus and... Wait. We're supposed to move the ship. Okay.
This thing weighs about 300,000 tons. So even if you had a really powerful helicopter, you're going to need like 25,000 of them. And you can't put them all together in one area or they'll crash. It ain't going to work.
En route to help. Hey, maybe pull up a bit.
Next. All right, more seriously, why don't we take a whole bunch of old jet engines, weld them to the sides of the ship, turn them all on at once, and the day is saved. However, there is a risk of an explosion. And then you'd have a hole in the ship, and then the ship sinks, and then you're really never moving it.
And you destroy the ecosystem
liquid
again.
nitrogen. A lot of liquid nitrogen right under the boat. The water freezes, expands, the ship lifts up. Bob's your uncle, you love it.
Okay,
now,
okay.
The ship is just stuck in ice. And then it melts, and then you're back to the exact same position. Also, you need like $1 billion worth of nitrogen. There's no way to get that much material, let alone handle the scale of that material. Also, everyone's going to freeze to death on board, and the ballast will expand in the tanks, and that'll destroy the ship. It's not going to work. All right. Last idea. Best idea. What if we just actively made things worse? Such as this petition to add a second boat to the canal.
Well, the wish became granted just a year later with Affinity 5, right? Was it? Oh, it's like the red one that Bricky mentioned. An oil tanker that ran aground just shortly.
Jokes aside, one humble comment did stand out from the crowd.
Get a few people on this side, a few people on that side, push it, and I really think it would go.
Well, maybe. Because that's exactly what the recovery team intended to do. Ahoy! Ah, good to see you back from the nurse. I told them I didn't do any drugs, but they wouldn't take my word for it. I would have believed you. Hey, just give me the walkie-talkie. All right, full ahead with the excavators. 3 more excavators join Abdullah, and they are all busily digging out the front and rear of the ship. It's still going too slow. What else we got? More rescue stuff. So here comes Rabbi pulling up to the scene. Good news, fellas. And he's standing atop a very powerful bit of kit. A big, beautiful dredger. To be specific, a cutter suction dredge. Essentially, you've got a big rotating cutting tool that loosens up all the soil, while a big suction pipe sends it yonder. All right, do the dredgy. Full speed. What else we got? We got more tugboats incoming. More and more tugboats join the fray. A total of 8, arranged around the ship like this. Notably, the Baraka 1 and the Izzat Adel. These are 2 of the most powerful tugboats in the Middle East, and that includes the non-deserty parts. Full ahead with those. They keep trying. A cacophony of engines playing the highest stakes game of tug-of-war ever attempted. Tens of millions of dollars being lost every hour until it was won. And their opponent? Unbothered, moisturized, taking up the whole lane. Unbudgeable. All right, we're calling it for now.
Satch.
Oh, El Saeed, we've thrown everything we can at the ship, and it won't concede an inch. It's hopeless, hopeless. The cynicism of youth. I've worked for many years on the Suez. There's magic in the water, Canterville. Magic. We will succeed.
Wait.
Canterville.
Magic. The fuck is that supposed to be? I'm sorry. Do I need to turn on subtitles here?
Magic. We will succeed. Your words are empty, El Saeed. Optimism has blinded you, El Saeed. We cannot defeat the Canal. It is simply too powerful. If I were the guys at Case and Kaisha, I'd just forget about the Ever Given and buy a new ship.
You can defeat the Canal. World War II, Mussolini tried doing the same. One man, but this was of course figuratively, he was trying to control the movement of ships through the canal.
Well, we can't afford a new ship. The owners of the Ever Given, Shoei Kaisen Kaisha Limited, are getting very worried. I need that ship back, and I can't just leave it to the Suez Canal Authority to do it. There's only one team daring and foolhardy enough to take on a job like this.
Hey, a Nokia 3310.
Kaisen calls up an elite salvaging company from the Netherlands. Smit Salvage. We need your help. I got your number from you know who. Smit is the industry's best. They have response centers all over the globe, 24/7, ready to respond to marine emergencies. And funnily enough, they're the same team that helped with the rescue of the Costa Concordia back in 2012.
Yeah.
Suit up, boys. They put the ocean in Ocean's 11, the tide in Tide Pod. And sometimes they pee in the water. Why not? The fish do it. We're en route to the canal. ETA in the next 24 hours. Next time on Boat in Canal. The prophecy. It's coming true. Kiss me, you fool. I'm beginning to think you don't want to get the boat free. Well, is it the Yanny wire or the Laurel wire?
Laurel.
I couldn't hear you. You're breaking up.
Yanny. It's
There's only one
funny
way
because
this was
it's
ever
around
gonna
that time they had the same thing. Murder? I didn't hear anything about that.
It's now day 3. There's more digging, more tugging, but the ship is still exactly where they left it. And the slow pace of progress is starting to cause problems for international trade. Each delayed ship represents thousands of tons of undelivered stock for store shelves. And that queue is getting longer and longer. On board, an estimated $9.6 billion worth of goods is sitting idle. The milk! It will spoil! And the big question is, how long until this thing is fixed? To answer this burning question, the Suez Canal Authority holds another press conference and declares, guys, another day, maybe 2, might even be this afternoon. But the media and industry experts disagree.
The truth of the matter is that they're not making much ground. I mean, this is proving to be more difficult than originally expected.
Could be closed for weeks.
It could take weeks.
Could be stuck for weeks.
Weeks. That's how long it could take to free the container ship currently blocking the Suez Canal.
So that means all of these ship operators here, waiting in the queue, have a very difficult choice to make. So basically, I've just got 2 options. One, I can wait around hoping the ship gets unstuck, which nobody knows how long that's going to be. Or option 2, we go all the way around Africa. And I really don't want to do that, and it's not just a geographic thing. Freighters don't want to go around Africa because it will cost them far more in terms of fuel.
Yeah.
It adds 10 extra days to the route. And most importantly, pirates.
Hey.
Assassins, gay pirate assassins.
Now, there
Somalia.
are 2 main pirate hangouts. The Somali pirates, everyone knows about them.
Yeah.
But the more prolific group is actually in the Gulf of Guinea.
Yeah.
Named so because it holds the Guinness World Record for most pirates. In fact, in
Guineas.
2020, 96% of all maritime kidnappings happened in the Gulf of Guinea. That doesn't sound very good to me, Mr. Kaisha.
And I just want you to know that you've made an enemy. And when I... Is your boat running? Because you better fucking move it. You can't park there. All right, hear me out. I'm thinking a bunch of helicopters, right? And
There are a lot of people now who are angry with the owners of the Ever Given. There's only one thing I can do. Bing, 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 bong. Breaking news. Pause for a second. Shoei Kaisen Kaisha is big sorry. The owners of the Ever Given feel such enormous pressure that they go live on television to make a public apology. We are determined to keep on working hard to resolve the situation as soon as possible. Please do not be mad. In a few years, we'll all have a big laugh about it. Yours sincerely, Mr. Kaisha.
XOXOXO.
Oh God, that's the boss of my boss's boss. I'm in so much trouble. Can't do anything about it. All we can do is keep trying to free the ship.
Yeah.
So they keep going. And going. Into the night.
Day 4.
And on that night, Canterville and El Said had a heart-to-heart.
Oh.
The mood was very somber. Still feeling optimistic, El Said? Of course. Well, it's day 3. How much progress have you seen so far? They're gonna blow us up, aren't they? It's possible. They're gonna freeze us, aren't they? That seems less likely. They might just attach a whole bunch of jet engines and we're gonna get fucked up. That one got debunked. Sorry, I don't mean to take it out on you. It's
I'm
just
losing it, man.
all these guys, they rely on me. The navigator, the helmsman, Gene, and the other ones we never animated.
But I'm thinking maybe I should just get on a lifeboat right now and never look back. I could go live on an island somewhere, far, far away from here. Run away? Look at this. Timu neck massager for Sally. I bet she's checking her mailbox every morning. Bulk $6 fingerless gloves for Mr. Poe Box. You want to disappoint him? No. Little Jimmy won't be getting his 20-pack of kitchen tongs this Christmas. And you think that doesn't kill me inside? But we've exhausted every option. There's nothing on Earth that could free this ship.
But
well, that's where you're right. Look up there, Lil Canthy. El Said points up into the night sky. Los Lunos. Yes, the moon. The son of the night. To the ancient Egyptians, it was a sign of hope. And in a few more nights' time, a prophecy will be fulfilled. The supermoon. I have to show you a kind of boring diagram. I'm so sorry. You see, the moon doesn't just orbit the Earth in a perfectly equidistant circle. It is, in fact, an ellipse. That means there is a point when the moon is the furthest from the Earth.
The apogee.
The apogee. And there's also a point where it's closest to the Earth. That's the perigee. You know when you look into the night sky and the moon seems bigger or smaller than usual? Different distances, isn't it? Point is, the moon gravities all over the water. And the closer it is, the more it's going to pull.
The pull.
Now, there's another effect as well. If you believe the mainstream media, the Earth is going around the sun like this. And once in a while, it will also align with the sun being on the exact opposite side. Bam! At this point, when everything lines up like so, both the sun and the moon are at max strength pulling on the sea. And they call that the supermoon. And the tidal effects of both combine for an even greater pull. High tide can be even higher than usual, sometimes by up to 1.5 feet. Now, these sorts of moons only happen 3 or 4 times a year. But in 4 days, Big K, we're going to get one.
Nice. The side eye.
Previously on Boat in Canal. Don't let go!
Wait, that did not happen.
My plans have all fallen into place. I thought I knew what being fallen into place.
Oh, the Panama schemes. I'm looking forward to hearing the details of that one. I guess it would follow that the other canal will see an increase in traffic. From what I do know, they did promise in that year that they were attempting at least to become carbon neutral by 2030.
I thought I knew what being a captain meant. What do you mean cut the black and blue wire? There's only white and gold. We've got one chance left. The moon. This is just like that Costa Concordia video he did, but way less funny. Over at the Ever Given, things are status quo. But online, there's a bit of a new development. A screenshot of a news article appears. Cargo ship crashes into Suez Canal. Captain involved in incident. But there's a twist. Uh-oh. Is that a woman?
A woman?
Egypt's first female sea captain, Marwa El Salhadar.
Marwa El Salhadar. I went in school with a Marwa. That's a typical name. But don't tell me that they turned that into a gender war thing. Please. Come on, 2021. I know that a lot of the bullshit, nonsense red pill commentary kind of kickstarted during COVID, with people being locked inside and not going out to touch grass or the sand. But come on.
Was being named in this headline as responsible for crashing the Ever Given. And the screenshot of this news headline spread all across social media.
Oh no.
For Marwa to have screwed up this badly is impressive. Especially considering she's never worked on the Ever Given and is currently hundreds of miles away in Alexandria.
Yeah,
But
it's
someone
just
online
Egyptian.
went, first female captain? Grody? Suez blockage? She must have did it.
Wait, when did she become first female captain? Hold on, I need to look this up. Marwa is the first Egyptian female ship captain. She graduated from the Arab Academy of Science, Technology and Maritime Transport in 2013. Oh, and as of April 2021, as ranked as first mate. The Ada 4, what is that? I can't get to see that. Anyways, bro, that's not even the same category of ship. What are they saying? Oh man, the shit that just one single Google search always debunks all the conspiracies. Anyways.
Marwa found out about the accusations through a friend and quickly hopped online. I gotta clear my name. Guys, it isn't me! But the online bad guys must have hacked her account, because everything she wrote just came out in squiggles.
Wait. Oh, for fuck's sake, I was about to say, what is he saying? He got me. He got me there. God damn it.
So Marwa tried to hack back. This code, it's nothing I've ever seen before. They're countering my hack. I'm gonna reroute the hosting. Not if I can help it. They're in through the firewall. Use IP4. It's better.
Now, while we can all agree that a lady captain is very gross and icky, and while we all agree that she should be doing a lady job, like adding rosemary oil to the ballast water, or knitting hand warmers for the steering wheel.
God damn
It was not fair that she was being falsely accused. And the situation was escalating as the online bad guys started making fake accounts pretending to be her.
Come on.
What was Marwa, etc. to do against such a coordinated campaign?
Well, luckily, a surprise hero to the story. The mainstream
BBW.
media showed up and did a thing.
Don't worry.
Bringing her onto the telly, the mainstream media showed up and...
Death Stranding 2, truly a return to form for both strands like and strands lights.
Don't worry.
Bringing her onto the telly and clearing everything up. Marwa even found some positive in the situation.
I was really upset at the beginning, but later on I found like the support from all people around me, and that made me feel like more grateful for what happened.
A lot of the social media posts got taken down. And in
assholes.
the end, it all turned out okay. At least, for her.
From Marwa.
Back to the Ever Given. The Ever Given has been grounded for 4 long Egyptian days. So tug, tug, tug. Dig, dig, dig. Pull, pull, pull. Fuel is getting low. Everyone is overdue for a break. All right, guys. Grab a Red Bull and a little snacky. We'll pick up again soon. But as the engines wind down, the crew can hear something approaching. Who the hell is that? It's Smit Salvage.
Hell yeah.
The Smit team boldly actions onto the scene, looking at the ship very inspectively. They report their findings to the rescue team. All right, I ain't no boat expert, but if you want a chance of moving this ship, you're going to need to make it a lot lighter, by tens of thousands of tons at least. Is it going to bend and tear? And sink? No, it doesn't look like it's going to do that. But it also doesn't look like it's going anywhere with all of this weight on the back. Okay, we trust you. What's your plan to make the ship lighter? I know a guy. He's got a crane. I'll get it down here. We'll offload all the containers. It'll be brilliant. You're gonna love it. The container thing again? Yeah, how long is that gonna take? Well, to get them down here and to get all the equipment assembled, we're gonna need at least a few weeks. Weeks? Yeah, and to get all the containers off the ship, that might take several months.
Months? No, Mr. President. He didn't say months. He said, monks. Those Shaolin guys. They're very strong.
Batman and the Tibetan monk technique. Listen to me very carefully, Alfred. I have a contingency plan of how to unstock a container ship. Master Wayne, where did you learn that from? Those Tibetan monks. Batman's bullshit.
Everything's going according to plan. A furious rabbi marches in. Do you have any idea how much these last few days have cost Egypt already? We've had to sell parts of the Sphinx. Look, the nose is gone. It's looking all messed up. We turned the whole country into an e-commerce site. It used to just be called Gypt. Now it's online. Egypt. Remember Tutankhamun? Now it's Tutankhamun. Get it? It's a pun. Get it?
Let's move on,
No,
says the
stop.
Smit guy standing in for the audience. Look, this is by far the best option. Yeah, it's slow and laborious, but it's a guaranteed fix. Or you can carry on doing what you're doing now. You're on what, day 4? How's progress so far?
Al Sayed wouldn't hear it. We will continue with the dredging and the tugging. The supermoon will be here soon, and that will save us.
Go back to
You are
Holland.
foolish, Al Sayed. The legend of the supermoon is just a legend.
All right, we're on the same team here. If you insist on keeping the cargo aboard and just tugging, we've got resources to help. Smit calls in 2 additional tugboats. And not just big ones, pretty much the biggest ones you can get. So Smit and the recovery team have figured out a sort of Plan A and Plan B. Plan A is to pull the Ever Given free by the supermoon, which is only 2 days away. Now, if that doesn't work, they'll have to go to Plan B, which is to offload by crane most of these containers, and that will take months. Watching on impatiently, tapping their feet and looking at their watches very aggressively, is now a queue of 400 vessels waiting to use the canal. Fresh fruit, thousands of tons, losing its freshness. Medicine, losing its potency.
After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill. You take the red.
Not to mention, livestock.
More than a dozen ships have live animals on board.
Mostly sheep and cattle,
no.
lightly sizzling under an Egyptian sun. The Egyptian government has had to dispatch vets to board these ships to tend to the animals' welfare. A few days ago, when I was a younger man, freight from Asia only cost $8,000 a container. Now it's $12,000.
Yeah,
And the impact is
inflationary.
being felt by a lot of larger companies. Renault, for example, ran out of some critical components and had to halt assembly at a couple of its plants.
Ooh.
Adidas, Nike, IKEA, all saw shortages.
Some of our clients are out of their top-selling SKUs already.
And as tankers queue, oil prices are rising.
Yeah, it was our fault. Consumerism.
Let my people go! Through the little waterway, please. And meanwhile, all across the day, the tugs are trying again and again. Move a little more sand, wait for the next high tide, try again. And as this marches on with the same futility as day 1, banking on the supermoon looks like a costlier and costlier gamble. All right, enough of this. Said about 100 ships opting instead to go the long route around Africa, accepting the longer traffic time and piratey risk.
Supermoon cometh. About the last day, right?
The supermoon. It's tonight. There's a renewed energy as people scuttle around the area, doing everything they can to prep the ship for the big event. The excavator crew, over the course of the week, has expanded to a team of 11, working double, sometimes triple shifts with only 3 hours a day for sleep. Together with the 2 dredgers, they have moved 30,000 cubic meters of sand and soil. For comparison, this is 1 cubic meter, and this is 30,000 cubic meters. And here is what it looks like next to the Ever Given. That's a lot of sand. Subway sandwich for scale. And it's borne some results. Overnight, they managed to free the rudder from the left bank. And that's a big deal, because this rudder was acting as a bit of an anchor in the sand.
Yeah.
Now free, The stern bobs around with the motion of the water. Great stuff.
Cool.
Meanwhile, the crew is doing everything it can to lighten the weight of the ship. That includes making a second plea for the ballast water to be ejected. Oh, please, the Smit guy's already tinkled in there. We just can't do it. It would destroy the ecosystem of Egypt. Please, 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 please. All right. Biodiversity. Let 1,000 algae bloom. Nice work. That'll make the ship 9,000 tons lighter, Kent.
And that might turn the Red Sea purple or Kool-Aid flavored.
The water's so bright I can barely see it coming out of the ship. Here, take these. No. I don't deserve them. Sunglasses are for people who redeem themselves. That's not me. Hold on to them, just in case.
Into the evening,
What's the bromance for?
We see Abdullah excavating away. But really, he's thinking about the moon. Rabbi, he's busy taking video calls. But he finds himself distracted with thoughts of the moon.
Even Mr. Kaisha. Is there anything in this world that doesn't remind me of her?
More breaking news from the Suez Canal problem. Evergiver is stuck in the Suez Canal still. It's been almost a week. A tugboat should be able to move Evergiver's big ass. This is Nana Star, Nana Star's news channel.
Wow.
The full moon shone brightly that night, kissing the nape of the Canal's neck with its gravity lips. Full tongue. The Canal liked it.
And spoiling the romance of the moment is a big fleet of tugboats, watching on voyeuristically. They are 17 in total, with just a bit over 1,600 tons of bollard pull.
You're nasty.
And here's how they're arranged around the Evergiven. Of the four most powerful tugs, 2 go at the front and 2 go at the back. They'll be pulling. Another 6 tugs are put on the flanks. 2 over here, 4 over here. They'll be pushing. The remaining tugs are fueled and ready on the sidelines, waiting for their chance to sub in. Positioned like this, when the word is given, all these ships are going to try and turn the Evergiven anti-clockwise. Looks great,
Hopefully
guys.
they are also ready in the ship
Do you think that this is gonna...
I believe
kickstart
in
the
the
engines.
supermoon.
This had better work. The guy with the ruler down by the shoreline yells out, "The tide has hit its peak."
Al Sayed commands over the radio.
Start main
Khonshu!
engines. Tension on.
Moon Knight music kick in.
Full ahead. The tugs start moving. They carve through the water with ease. The immense power from the tugs meet the resistance of the Evergiven.
It was at this point that the narrator said something really poetic. Stuff about the night. About how the ships were like dancers on the water.
For juxtaposition, we cut away to that crab again.
Which everybody hated. It's like a metaphor if you think about it.
The tugs are sliding to the left. They're sliding to the right. It's not working! Diesel fumes fill the air as the tugs keep increasing their power. The water violently foams behind the tugs. Everyone is staring at the back of that ship.
That fat
Come
ass.
on. Move! This goes on for minutes. More minutes. Even more minutes. An hour. 2. 4 hours. By 4:30 a.m., the moon's power is starting to wane, and there is very little progress.
Don't give up. The tide only goes down so that we can rise once again.
Your moon gambit has cost Egypt dearly, Al Sayed. Guards, prepare the sarcophagus with the beetles like in the... What the hell is that?
Hell yeah,
Under
baby.
the water, all of this tugging has loosened the sand, the soil, the rock. Could it be? The sound of metal tensing and flexing. The ship is beginning to move. It is coming free from the bank. The supermoon gives one last howl. It worked. They pulled the ship from the bank. At the back, at least. Now, the bow is still wedged in there pretty good, but this is progress.
Now they can use the
We're
rotor
halfway
to
freedom.
reverse.
Keep going. So they did, all morning. "7:30 a.m. The sun is rising. The tugs have been pulling all night. But the most difficult task, freeing the bow of the ship, remains beyond them.
Ain't no bow movements.
Well, I guess even the moon has its limits. I don't want to hear it, El Said. It wasn't enough. That bow is still stuck. No, Mr. President. They're not saying that the bow is still stuck. They're saying, take a bow. And then something else that rhymes with stuck. I gotta go. They were loading up the missiles for Plan B, as the guys on social media suggested. I lied about the crane thing. This was always the plan, says the Smit guys. You know what, Canterville? I agree. They should just blow us up. What? My career is over now, too. You're the guy who blocked the canal, and I'm the guy who couldn't get it cleared. We've brought instability to the Middle East. But enough, Canterville. I raised your hopes with moon-based promises. But look at the tide. It's low. Low tide. And yet, I am lower still. Canterville looks pensively out the window. And it was at that moment that he had his character arc. He realized that he was the captain, and the captain is always in charge. Shut up, El Said. We shall continue, regardless of the tide. Is that not the Egyptian way? Don't you remember the story, El Said? That every young Egyptian kid is told about the human pyramid? No. Where there's one guy at the bottom who gives up and we all fall down? Heck, it ain't a triangle if you don't try. We need to be strong, together, like a pyramid. It's what Giza would have wanted. You're right, damn it. Thank you, Canterville. That's the most inspirational speech I've ever heard in my life. I'll never lose my faith again. And even though you're kind of the
So
worst
fucking
captain
dumb.
I've ever seen,
Oh my
you're
god.
still the best friend.
Homosexuals.
So they pressed on all morning, enthusiastically and vigorously tugging away, beating off the fatigue, but to no progress. Okay, everyone, take a break. Copy. We'll have lunch and pick up again in a couple of hours. Then suddenly, one of the Smit guys comes busting into the room. I've got an idea. Everybody turns and looks at the Smit guy. All right, well, sorry about the boring diagram, but take a look at this. Remember how we emptied the ballast tanks before? Yeah, of course. Well, now that the ship is half
Fill it up
floating,
again.
what if we refilled the ones at the back? On this part of the diagram, where the ship is almost floating. That way it will sink lower here and allow the bow to sit up even higher on the bank. Canterville gives El Said a knowing nod. I got this. I know a guy who owes me a favor. Please, 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 please. A few hours later, the ballast tanks were filled. And it worked. The bow lifted, ever so slightly. It's working, it's working. And it gets better. It's now 2 p.m., and that means high tide. Guys, I've got another technical issue. All right, what is it? It's easier if I show you with a drone. Hold on, let me try again. All right, you can see the ship is lodged at the front. The guys are pulling, but it ain't budging. However, a lot of force is building up here. And what if it were to break free? The sudden release could propel the ship straight across the water with a hell of a lot of momentum. It could span the entire canal and land on the opposite bank, only to run aground again.
200 meters, come on.
It could pin these small tugs in its wake. Dangerous. To solve this problem, they did a bit of a safety briefing, and they got some rope. 4 ropes, actually. Tying the bow of the ship...
Are we sure that this video isn't sponsored by Subway?
...to somewhere on the land. The lines look great, guys. With the contingency in place, the tugs start up again. And about an hour later, at 3:05 p.m., movement. The bow began to shift. Okay, that's definitely moving. This is it. It's working. The ship made a big noise as it accelerated from the bank. And at first, excitement and relief. The bow was coming free. But uh-oh. Remember that concern about the overswing? Well, it's happening. Okay, the only source we found for this part of the story was Bloomberg, but they said that it happened and we wanted to build it. So this recreation is how we imagine it went. The 4 support ropes take strain. Then, snap, one of them breaks. Do you think it's gonna hold? I think it's gonna hold. Move those tugs out of the way. Snap, another rope breaks.
I'm about to start pulling on the other side.
Get your tug out of the way, but it's gonna hold. Snap. A 3rd rope breaks. Get out of the way! Get out of the way! A single strand is the only thing holding this ship from swinging all the way to the other bank and being stuck forever. Without even realizing, Canterville grabs Al Said's hand and squeezes it tight. It's gonna hold. You're a madman, Canterville. Mad passionate about this canal, and I ain't afraid of nothing. He said very cold-backedly. The engines shut off. All that could be heard is the squeak of tightening rope and the scream of torsioning metal. Sacre bleu, said Abdullah. But it is slowing down.
Well, they do also speak French.
It comes to a halt. The final rope held. They really did it. And the Ever Given rested easy in the middle of the canal. Al Said turns to Canterville. Power up the engines. Let's get your ship moving again. I'm on it, says Canterville. All of the tugboats start honking their horns in celebration.
We did it!
Cheers can be heard from the main dredger, the Mashau. In fact, they filmed this celebratory video. You heard them right, Mr. President. We did it. We did it. It's free. I told you. All in a day's work. The president takes his finger off the nuke button. Pack it up, boys.
So dumb. So when are we touching on Panama?
I can't believe it. All that digging really must have made a difference. I just... Oh. Good. Everybody hated that crap. We did it, Gene. We did it. Gene?
Gene?
Where are you?
Jean?
Captain, who are you talking to? Gene. Captain, there's no Gene on board. Wait a minute. No, it's impossible.
My fucking God.
Gene, wait. Thank you. I'll always remember you, Canterville.
Dumb.
And so the canal was clear once again.
Idiot.
Chop, chop. You still got work to do. By 8 p.m., the workday had not finished for the Suez Canal Authority. There's still a backlog of 400 ships waiting to go through the canal. So Rabbi stands in front of microphones and says, "The canal will be operating around the clock
until the queue is cleared. And within a few days, it returned to normal. It was a big accomplishment. Many industry experts thought it would take several months to free the Ever Given, but the crisis was resolved within a mere week. Prepare the sarcophagus for the doubters. Even Egypt's president came out and said, "Good job, everybody. You know what? Pizza lunch." And the Suez Canal Authority held a ceremony in honor of the workers who helped to free the ship. And they also made this monument, which you can see on Google Maps. But the story doesn't end here. A quick note on the helmsman's penis. Now you, me, and everyone in the press saw that VDR data.
Fragwürdigen Penismanöver genutzt.
But despite how realistic and to scale it was not deliberate. Yes, sheer coincidence. If you watch the VDR data, he really is just dodging the ships, and that's the shape that the path took. So he didn't get in any trouble. The end.
Wow.
Oh, all right, I suppose one more smaller detail. Now that the Ever Given is free, what's going to happen to it? And what's going to happen to the crew? Well, the Ever Given was tugged over to Great Bitter Lake, where they determined that the ship was seaworthy and not in any urgent need of repair. But it's also going to be impounded. Oh no. Hey, there's, police boats outside. Why? What did you do? This ship and its crew is now subject to the indefinite detention by the authority of the Egyptian government. Until you pay us, the Ever Given may not leave, says the Suez Canal Authority. Yes, we will be holding on to the Ever Given. It's our view that there was no wrongdoing on the part of the Suez Canal Authority or its two pilots, and it was all the crew of the Ever Given, so their ship will be held until the parent company agrees to rightfully pay us for all of the costs incurred. Ruh-roh. Now here's where things get very complicated, and there is a lot of legal mumbo-jumbo. But the crux is this. The Suez Canal Authority says, "Dear Ever Given owners, you owe us $900 million. And Shoei Kisen Kaisha says, "No way. How many yen is that? No way." So by April 13th, some of the crew was allowed to leave, but a lot of them have to stay. And there's a certain nervousness in the air. Large legal battles can go on for a while, and there was already a bad example of this just a few dozen kilometers away. The MV Aman.
What did he do?
The MV Aman is a much smaller vessel, and it has been abandoned for years, detained by the Egyptian government in 2017 for expired safety equipment. Now, they were told to replace the equipment and pay a fine. However, there was no one to replace the safety equipment or to pay the fine because the shipping company went broke.
So he's just left the ship there.
Abandoned the vessel. There was no way for the legal
Actually
situation
abandoning
to
ship.
advance. And that meant that there was no way for the ship to be released. Most of the crew had to stay on the ship, and they would keep them there for more than a little while. 13 months.
Oh my
before a judge
God.
finally decided, all right, look, just leave the keys with one guy. We'll call him the custodian, and everybody else can go home. Now, that custodian was a Syrian man named Muhammad Aisha. Look, he's holding the keys. He's holding the keys. You have to stay on the ship now. Everybody else got to leave, but he had to stay. On top of the 13 months he'd already been there, he spent the next 3 years aboard the ship.
Oh my God, imagine that 33-year-old stuck there just cause, it's like the parent company who fucked it up.
Quickly, the ship ran out of fuel, which meant it ran out of power, which meant it ran out of running water. No refrigeration either. Food ran out. Every few days, Mr. Aisha would be allowed to swim onto the shore to get food, water, charge his phone, but he was only permitted for about 2 hours until they would tell him to scoot.
God, that's some bullshit.
Would this be the same fate for the Ever Given crew? They did not know. But we do, so let me tell you. A few more weeks passed, and the negotiations continued. You guys had those 2 bickering pilots. Yeah, but the captain's always in charge. Sorry, who didn't
300
arrange
millions.
for tugboats while we were going through the canal?
Shit.
Oh, that was you guys. Who did you? I'm going to put 20,000 containers on one of the largest ships in the world and go double the speed limit, then complain about tugboats. But
it wasn't their fault,
They
though.
all got together in a big room, and they went, I'm sorry about all those things I said and those emails I sent. I didn't mean it. I was tough on you as well. They embraced. They made amends. They made love. And they agreed, all right, you can keep using the canal, but sometimes we get to go fishing on the boat. That's fair. That's tough, but that's fair. They shook on it. It was an Egyptian handshake. They do the thing with the elbow. There was a mummy.
I'm having too much fun with this shit.
This story sucks. By September, the crew was allowed to return home. They only got MV Aman a little bit. And that guy on the MV Aman, he got to go home too.
Oh.
Why not? Get out of here, you scamp. The Ever Given made its delivery to Rotterdam. They did it! All the cargo is here. Although, it wouldn't hurt to check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Canterville continued his career in shipping. It wasn't the end. Maybe just one more for the road. It's a great time to be a cargo ship captain. I can tell you that much. Al Said returned the Lunexicon back to the Sphinx. Thank you, old friend. And the Ever Given had some minor repairs done to the bow over in Qingdao Port in China. And then she was ready to set sail again. The Ever Given was released back into the wild. It sailed into the sunset. Ever since then, global trade has improved. Prices have gone down.
Yeah, right.
The economy flourished once again. Food returned to the supermarkets. Mothers clutched their babes. A litter of puppies. And peace was finally restored to the Middle East. Forever. The end.
Well, damn.
Thanks again to Salee, the easy way to get data on your phone when you're overseas. And 15% off? Now that's a good deal.
Now, this was a crazy retelling of something that was... Now, this was a pretty crazy retelling of it. I like how he actually... Now, this was a pretty crazy retelling of the story. I like that he has decided to do it in the jovial way that he does his a lot of his content on the Incognito Mode channel. That's pretty good. And also, of course, I know that some people are likely going to be talking about that in the comment section. But yes, he provided links and everything, at least for the vast majority of it. He has like a character limit to his sources, but good on him, okay? If anybody's going to be talking about like the criticism from the H-bomber guy thing, this is the way of approaching it. He does a new thing. He actually provides with links and context and everything throughout the video. That's good stuff. So instead of harping and trying to criticize the man, at least give him praise for what he's doing now. That being said, thank you so much for watching the video. As always, if you liked it, don't forget to hit that like and also subscribe button. Make sure to do the same for the end of the historian if you want to. And I wish you all to have a wonderful, I don't know why I blanked on the word there, day. And I don't know. Perhaps he might be doing another one for the other ship that also ran aground. Which, by the way, the channel, at least the Enter Historian channel, is more or less like turning into just a documentary channel for every single disaster in the world. That might be the direction it goes for in the future. Anyways, see you guys in the next one. Bye.